Hey, this is V, and this time's book is called Cassandra in Reverse by Holly Smale. The main character, Cassandra, or Cassie for short, is having a really bad day. She just got dumped by her boyfriend of 4 months, who she thought she was maybe starting to fall in love with. And this really hit her out of the blue because she originally thought that their relationship was actually going extremely well. She's no longer getting along with her roommates, which is problematic because she may potentially get kicked out of, this is her umpteenth house share. It's really hard for her to find roommates who don't eventually find her too weird and want her gone. She just got fired from her job at a public relations firm, and to top everything off, the bakery she always goes to is out of banana muffins, which are her go-to comfort food. So all of these things are really tough on Cassie because she's the kind of person who likes everything in her life to be routine and predictable. She has a hard time interacting with other people. She doesn't experience emotions in the same way that other people do. She sees them as colors, and the same color doesn't always mean the same emotion. It all varies depending on who it's from. And a lot of sensations tend to hit her extra hard, sounds and smells, and these things can all become extremely overwhelming. And in addition to change and a lot of these other stresses, it just makes finding her place in the world and understanding the world really challenging. So on this really terrible day, Cassie discovers that she actually has the ability to travel back in time, although with some limitations. She can't go back as far as she originally was trying to. She immediately starts to use this ability to try to fix all the mistakes that she thinks led to her being where she was today. So top among her priorities is trying to salvage her relationship with her boyfriend. She goes back to their meetings and tries to find a way, I guess, to make him stay with her. She keeps going, she'll say something, what I mean by trying to force certain interactions. She'll say something, and then based on his reaction, she might think, okay, so saying this or doing this is causing him to pull away from me, so she'll rewind time by 5 minutes and try it over again with a different action to see if she can get a better result. And she tries to use this to essentially bend the world into her idea of what she wants her life to look like. But she quickly discovers not only that this is actually extremely hard to do, but also that maybe the things that she's trying to change aren't really the problem. Or maybe not the problem, but I guess the things that caused her to be where she was, to be unhappy and stuff, may not be the same things that she originally thought they were. This story also is told with quite a lot of references to Greek mythology, with Cassie's name and also her sister Artemis. There's quite a bit of reference to different parts of Greek mythology throughout the story in the way it's told. So something that I liked about this story was just how it illustrated how complicated people can be. I appreciated that it really thought about how just because you have the ability to go back in time and change things does not mean that you can actually make everything go your way. Even though Cassie at first thinks, now she has this blueprint for the future because she's experienced it before, she thinks that she can, for instance, if this was a really good conversation, she thinks she can just say the same things she said last time and get the same answers, but it turns out that this isn't true. People don't work that way. There's all these little nuances that cause change. So even if she tries to react in exactly the same way she did before, what the other person does may not actually match up with her original expectations. And this happens for a lot of things in her life, and all these little changes combine so that time travel and fixing her life do not go how she plans. And I think it does a nice job of having her discover more about this whole process, lets her learn a lot both about like herself and the people around her. Like she starts to see, for instance, some of her coworkers aren't the people that she originally thought. Someone was really dismissive of her, but maybe that person actually genuinely did care, like in certain ways, but she never gave her like the chance to express it. Like there's all these little things, I guess, in other people that she starts to see because of like these constant repeated but different interactions. But something I did not like was, so this story is written in first person, which means that you spend a lot of time in the main character's head, and because of the time traveling, which means that all like the characters except for Cassie are constantly being rewound, and Cassie herself being bad at interacting with other people, like by default that means you spend a lot of time just listening to her own thoughts. Like you spend a lot of time listening to her freak out about things, and I think I personally prefer stories with more dialogue and more characters. So I think for me, like just spending so much time only in her own head, I think it's like sort of detracted from um the it was sometimes a little hard to get through, basically.